Hello everyone, this is John Ward of the Appalachian Channel, and welcome to another episode of Barndo Life. And boy, we have found a project today. I'm here with Tim Troyer from Troyer Post Frame Buildings, who built my Barndominium. And this is the homeowner, Rick. He has started a massive project and has invited us to come over and film it. And it's over 7,000 square foot, including his garage and the house. He's already started wiring and plumbing, and we're going to walk through, and Tim's going to show us some of the beautiful cypress post that's on the front porch and the back porch and even on the garage. And this is a beautiful project, and I'm excited to see it. Y'all ready?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Location here in East Tennessee. We've got the mountains in the background.
Oh yeah, right outside the Smoky Mountains. It's absolutely beautiful.
Incredible location.
Well, let's look at the garage first, guys.
Let's go. Yeah. Okay, so we're out here with Rick from Florida. He's moved up here to the Smoky Mountains. We're in beautiful mountains out here, and first of all, he has a 50 by 70, 16 foot tall, really a toy barn. I mean, he's bringing all his antique cars in here, his motorhome. He's got a 14 by 14 garage door there, and he's going to bring in his toys, and then also he's got a little timber frame porch here on the front just to dress the building up. You know, as he's coming in from the road, it looks good, makes it look like a really beautiful building. So let's go in the door here and check out his building. So Rick, what's this space here?
This is going to be the office area. It'll probably come over like right here. Then we have a restroom over there. And I'm probably going to put I have some old, from a property in Florida, we changed out some sliding glass doors, so we're going to put them in here.
Nice.
To be able to see through it and set them on their side. But it's a lot of options with these 16-foot ceilings. We went ahead and put windows up there so we could do something later. And with the 8x8 beams, you know, this thing's very strong. And our garage doors on this end, our 16-foot doors, they're built where they're just going to go straight up. So we can put lifts in here, or if we decided to do an upstairs, we could take it all the way across without the doors being in the way. I mean, when we do things, we try to think about options and what could possibly be.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Yeah, that's great.
It's so easy to miss out on them. It's like in the beginning when we did the property, you can see we have the concrete walls. Well, that definitely wasn't planned, you know, but the way the slope of the property is, you have to make some changes sometimes, and that's
adjust to your surroundings, that's for sure.
Absolutely.
And that's part of living here in East Tennessee, or building here in East Tennessee, is just you're always dealing with unlevel ground. It's hard to find level ground here in East Tennessee, which makes it beautiful, but it also is a challenge to work with. So you got to consider that when you're thinking of building.
That's for sure. And there's so many things to think about, like where the road is, how far you have to run your utilities.
Yeah.
I mean, it was $6,000 to get this box put in.
Goodness, yeah. Yep. I mean, that's a good little run from the road.
It is. And then the water, we had to run it from the road, and it was significantly cheaper. It was about $2,000, but it's like nothing's in hundreds anymore. It's all thousands.
Yeah.
You know?
It's all expensive.
Yes. The other thing I've seen people get in trouble with is they pick their lot, they pick where they're going to want to put their house. They don't really look at their surroundings and get it in the right area. It's like once we cleared it, we looked at our view, and that's why the house doesn't sit square with the lines. That's why it sits at an angle. We wanted be able to sit on the front porch and see the mountain views.
Yeah.
But you know, luckily something that, you know, we had some help. Otherwise, we'd have probably screwed up, because when you plan for your septic, you got to make sure you don't touch that dirt.
Yeah.
It's got to be just native soil.
Yeah.
And we've brought in 60 loads of red dirt here.
That's a lot of dirt. That's a lot of dirt.
Lots of time on a track hoe, lots of time on a bulldozer.
Yeah.
Lots of time on a Kubota.
Yeah, so that's preparation. I mean, half the job of being your own GC and is just getting the preparation done and getting it done right up front, getting your plan laid out, and figuring out, hey, what size building, how do you want it shaped, where do you want to sit it, how all the utilities are going to work together. It's a huge job.
We started out in September, and when I pulled into the driveway in September, I hadn't been here for a while, and the weeds were 2 foot higher than my truck.
It's crazy.
So,
yeah.
I mean, it took a month to be able to get, just to be able to get the weeds down.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
It's been a challenge.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
for sure.
let's go around the front of the house here and just come in the front door. So you've got your play barn here, you've got your garage here by the front door. That way your wife looks like she just pulled in.
She did.
And she can pull into the garage here. Beautiful 3-door garage.
But don't say play barn around here. She already reminds me that we have a lot more garage than we do now.
Okay, we'll keep that hush. We'll keep that hush. So I love the doors you went with. Those are so pretty with the windows in the top. It really adds a lot to the house. They match the trim. That's a great option.
We were originally going to go black on the siding as well.
Okay.
But we decided this would probably be better for long term.
Yeah. It really is really good contrast. So here we are. We've got a block wall again. You can see just to hold that hillside in, and then now we're in more of a traditional stud frame, 2x6, 16-inch on center stud frame, house style. It still looks like a barn door in that it's got a metal roof, metal siding, it's all metal from the outside, timber frame porches. But once you get into the guts of it, it's more standard house framing. Inspectors, they know this, they understand it, they like it better. They'll just be a lot easier to work with. So that's why we lean towards more standardized framing. Also, it makes finishing it out easier. You've got studs every 16 inches, and it really, you're ready to go sheetrock. I mean,
you have the monolithic slab.
Yeah, that's huge.
So you're not digging the big holes.
Yeah.
Put your big poles on. That makes a difference, and it's nice and smooth, and you can polish it like in your showroom.
That's
exactly what we plan on doing here.
Okay. Yeah.
You were talking about the doors. One thing we did with the doors, instead of doing the traditional, 7 foot high, we went with the 8 foot
Doors. Yeah.
Went a little bit wider on each one. That's why we're 50 foot long on a 3-car garage.
Yeah.
Which a person would not have to do that.
Yeah. So you've got a total like 7,300 square feet here between both buildings.
Yeah.
It's a lot of square footage. But
3,000 in-house.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about that number. So more garage play area than living area, but.
Let me ask you a question, Tim or Rick. I see these tie downs up here, the hurricane tie down that we're seeing up here.
Those are the hurricane straps. They are required.
And that's Tennessee State building inspection code.
Yep.
Yes.
So that's something new, I think, maybe in the last some years. I don't think
codes are just really coming in more. They're just getting more involved. More counties are really cracking down on the codes, and it's a good thing. It makes it easy for us as builders. Hey, here's a code. Build by the code book. Yeah. It's a lot easier than trying to one county inspector says this, one county inspector says that. It's like, hey, no, we're just going to stick with the code book and go from there. So that makes it a lot easier for us.
The national code book, if we could just kind of use that as a guide, and like you say, make it state by state, not county by county.
Yeah.
Well, Tennessee's different though. It depends on the city. The city can have its own inspector.
Yeah.
Or it can be inspected by the state. You're probably inspected by the state here, I'm thinking.
No.
By the city?
By Blount County.
By Blount County. So I had to be inspected by the state because LaFollette doesn't do inspections. So the state inspector came out different.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like we're blessed to be in Blount County because the people, when it come time to get the permits and everything, I've never seen anybody as helpful as they were. And the inspectors got the cell phone. You just call them up. They're glad to help. Tell you whatever you need to do. Send them pictures. They're all good. I mean, They're great.
And a lot of people don't like inspectors, but sometimes that's the contractors that don't like them because they're there for the homeowner inspectors or to make sure it's done right.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, it's on our last project, I think I've probably learned more off the inspector. This guy, he was 80 years old. He was still out climbing on roofs. And he just, you know, I mean, he'd come out and he'd hang out with us and you know, tell us stories, and he loved it because, you know, we used him for his knowledge. And
yeah. Yeah, and good contractors love inspectors. Bad contractors hate inspectors.
Exactly.
You know, because like it makes it a level playing field for everybody, and keeps everybody up to par.
It's like the story I was telling you about the bad contractor around the corner that built his house and left the tree stumps underneath, and he had a 1-inch crack in his floor, so he couldn't get a final inspection. So he took it out of his company name. It was a spec house. He put it in his personal name, lived there for a year, then he flipped the house and to somebody else, but because it was in his personal name, he didn't have to have an inspection. So that's like, it's good to have private inspectors on your side also.
Yeah, that aren't paid for by your realtor.
No, exactly.
That's to watch out for.
Exactly.
Don't go to your realtor for your advice on who to hire for an inspection.
Yes, for sure.
I've seen those go bad. So, yeah, entryway from the garage here, a beautiful 3-door garage coming into the main house. You've got your washroom here. You've got the plumbing in here for all your laundry. It's going to be a good sized washroom.
Have a sink, have the washer and dryer, cabinets on the end. Then over on this side, you know, we'll have probably base cabinets with a long countertop. You know, maybe like a tall one on each end or something to be able to put things in. But, you know, one of the things I'm liking about this project is with the plumber and the electrician that we have, I mean, they're guys that, they take their work personally, you know. You can see they're putting in a manifold system, you know, for the water. And we've built this room here, so we're gonna have our HVAC over here, our water heater, the manifolds to where we can turn off any blind that we want to, just that one. I mean, the electrician, he's got it planned out to where we come off of our connector box will be on the other end of the garage, so we can run up and across. And then we have so we'll run from there to the other building. We got 200 amp service in each one. But if you look at this pipe up here, that's another thing that the plumber came up with. He's like, we can run your vents out the end caps instead of making penetrations in the ceiling.
That's a great idea.
You make those penetrations and you never get them sealed right.
Yeah.
You know, it's...
Yep, that's great. So, yeah, so let's just continue on through the house here, coming into the main, about 3,000 square foot house here. We've got a office going in here. It's got some windows there. What's this room going to be?
This is going to be the pantry.
Pantry, okay.
Yeah, and these are going to be set up to where we're going to have barn doors, sliding doors on these rooms. And this one, we have a custom door being made. It's going to be on a barn door, but it's an old door, doing the frosted glass, going to have pantry on it.
Wow.
And it'll slide over here.
That'll be beautiful.
Yeah.
Huh. That's great.
So we've got to come back when you get it finished and do a follow-up video.
That'd be great, yeah.
See what it looks like when you get it done, because you're coming along with it pretty quick, it looks like. When do you plan on it being finished?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
But I might be a little late on this one.
Yeah.
So you got 10-foot ceilings throughout, and in the living room, it's 14, 15 foot in here.
It is, yes. We have that vaulted. And then we have another one we have the 8x8 cypress beam that goes across here to, to
Support that.
the living room and the kitchen, and then the beams going down the side. So hopefully we get it up there good and doesn't fall on anybody.
Yeah, then you've got kind of some guest bedroom, guest bath. You're going to do some heating and air over here. Also your water heater in this closet.
Yeah, it's going to be on separate systems to where we can shut this side down if we want to, and you know, not pay for cooling it and heating it, and the
Yeah.
water heater doesn't have to be on if nobody's using the shower.
It's really.
Let me ask you, Rick, about the concrete floor. Why, is that something standard in Florida that most people go with concrete floor, or they use truss system on the floors?
No, I mean, down there it's like building on quicksand, so you have to have concrete.
So that's what you're used to here. You know, it's new for us in Tennessee for homes being on concrete. I mean, it's not, for me growing up, it seemed like it was always on a truss floor joist system,
Yeah.
you know. But now we're seeing so much of this concrete, and I'm just trying to figure out, you know, if there's what people's reason why they went with it for, you know.
Well, we're not putting flooring in, we're gonna polish the floor. And we like that look, we wanted that look. We didn't want something with a bunch of stairs,
Right.
you know. I mean, in about a year or two, I'll be older than dirt, so I don't want to climb the stairs.
So coming out of this little bedroom and out of the kitchen, you're coming into kind of a little back porch here. It's going to be a beautiful little back lawn, very nice.
We're gonna, on the other side, we're gonna put a fenced-in area to where we can let the dogs out and let them
Okay,
run. And then we're gonna
nice.
screen this back porch in. Probably put a little pad out here with an outdoor kitchen kind of a thing.
Sweet, yeah.
So we haven't talked about, Tim, what your company, or you know, you sold them all the Troyer sells the packages, and you have different crews that put them up, and your brother's crew was one that put this up. So you did, that's not standard for you to do 2x6 walls, is it? Is that something new for you all?
Yeah, it's kind of new for us, but we're really standardizing it in the Barndominium world just because we know how much easier it is for the end customer to finish this out. It's like, we want to make it as seamless and easy as possible. So that's why we're going towards the OSB on the whole thing and the stud walls. So our part of this project, Rick here had done all the concrete work, and then we sold him the material package, helped him design it. Jason there does the CAD work and designed this with Rick and his wife, and they did a beautiful job here. So I think our section of it, I don't know, remember what was the material package? What was the total on the material package? Probably around 200,000, and then another 100 for labor so far.
Yeah, we were something like that.
Yeah, so it was 200 to us, and then my brother's crew, it was another 100 for labor.
Yeah, so we're probably, you know, another 100 for concrete. You know,
Yeah.
probably 400 before we start. I figure we're going to be about 600 in it by the time we're finished.
Yeah,
You know, we're
okay.
gonna spray foam the whole thing. But something you were talking about the 2x6 walls,
Yeah,
there's something that, you know, people don't like to talk about. When you use the 2x6 walls compared to the post frame, it's easier for financing and it's easier for insurance.
that's true. Yeah, that's a good reminder. Yeah, I forget about that sometimes. But no, that's huge. Yeah.
I get reminded once a year about the insurance.
So yeah, that's a big, and I think the OSB helps too for that. It's just more
does.
conventional.
It
Everybody
does.
knows what they're working with then versus the post frame is just so new. A lot of inspectors, financiers don't understand that.
Well, and you could even go a step further with the OSB and go with that green board that they use to tape and stuff.
Yeah, that stuff's really
it's
good.
Significantly more expensive.
Yeah.
But personally, I believe that the reason that it's better is because so many contractors are not very good at wrapping.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, where Eric and Joe and their helpers, man, I mean, they were the best. I mean,
Yeah.
it was good kids, you know. I mean,
How many's on that crew?
there was four. You've got Eric, who is your brother-in-law, and then you have Joe, who's your youngest brother.
Yeah.
And they have two helpers, and the youngest kid there his dad's been a contractor forever, so he's got all the knowledge. You know, main thing's keeping him off his phone. and then you have the other kid from Oregon, and he is a hard worker.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But we'd bring him lunch and every now and then.
They enjoyed working with you.
And your sister.
Yeah, she'll show up and put a tool bag on.
I have a picture of her up on top of the big building last Thursday, and she'd come up and stay in a skirt. Yeah, she'd come up and stay sometimes with them.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, when it's time to clean up, you don't want to get in her way. I mean, I grew up and get some work done. And you can tell when Eric's ready to go home. I have never seen anybody move as fast when it comes time to clean up as he can. It's like we sit and watch him and laugh at him.
That's awesome.
So I got a question for you, Tim. You said $200,000 on the package. Now that's not including windows, I don't think.
No.
You didn't include the windows.
Yeah.
You bought the windows separate, so that was a pretty good chunk too.
Yes.
As I bought my windows. So you all included the wood for everything, trusses and the interior.
Yeah,
floors too?
stud framing, all the metal.
And the garage too.
Yeah, both buildings.
For
7,000.
both buildings,
Yeah,
$200,000 for the material.
yeah, 7,000 square feet. 7,300 was it for about 200,000 for the
10-foot walls
material.
in there, 10-foot walls in here.
Yeah.
And the cypress porches included?
Yep, that's all included.
That's really, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Let's look at the porch out front here.
Being from here.
Yeah. So
And the house is twice as big as all the garages.
and then about 100,000 he paid to the crew. So that was so 300,000 for 7,000 square feet. So
Yeah,
that's
I mean-
pretty good. But you got a long ways to go. I mean, we're just at
We are.
stud frame. So
we're gonna have, 20 plus grand in insulation. We have a, so we've got drywallers, that's gonna be another 23,000. But the drywallers that we found, they're gonna do the, they're gonna come in and do the knockdown on the ceilings.
Okay.
Do the texture on the walls,
yeah.
and.
You got your cabinets, your
12,000
bathrooms.
in there, yeah, and a good friend of mine works for Lowe's.
Okay.
And we've done the last 4 kitchens through them.
Okay.
And he's
Yeah.
a designer. He designed them all in Florida. And
Nice.
getting them shipped. They come in on the 26th. And then he's bringing an installer from down there.
Okay.
And
Nice.
he wants to come up and hang out anyway. He's got
Yeah.
his RC planes. He wants to fly out in our lot. But so we're probably 22, 23 in them. It's like we talked earlier about nothing's hundreds, it's all thousands.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it seems like it's starting to be, it's 20,000s at a time
Yeah.
instead of, but we're not really that far away.
Yeah.
It's, we've got a lot to buy. We've still got to buy water heaters, all of our bath stuff. We've got a big list of lights.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's amazing how much you can have in all the other things.
Yeah.
And
So what brought you to Tennessee, Rick? You said you're from Florida. How'd you end up here? What was the move change?
just got a hair. No, we've come here for years.
You come to the Smoky Mountains to visit and just like the area?
I used to have a property in Chalet Village,
Okay.
and I just I got rid of it was like when we came up here and we didn't live in it full time. All I did was come up and work, and that's when we got into the motorhomes. And it's but we've always, no matter where we went, we go to Sturgis from Florida. Instead of going back down that way, we always come around this way, and we'd always stop in on the way.
So you travel in a motorhome quite a bit then?
We do.
What motorhome do you have?
We have a 2017, it's called an NRC. It's a modified truck, and it's on a Cascadia, 550 horse, 2,000 foot-pound torque, big engine, 15.
They call it a Super C?
It's a Super C,
Yeah.
and we built it to pull, we used to have a stacker trailer. We built it to pull the cars that I never finished, so it never got pulled. And thanks to COVID, we used the trailer for 5 years and sold it for what we had in it. So,
Nice.
but it's...
You'll have to send us a picture so we can show a picture of your motorhome. I'd like to see that.
Sounds good. It's a beast. We just have to clean it.
Let's look at your master bedroom here. This will be nice, looks like. This is bigger than most people's houses, I believe, Rick.
So we have our half bath here, so we have access off a little hallway for the main living space. And then this is our master. And pretty much the way we designed the master and a lot of our rooms is we took measurements of the house that we're in, and they're not all the same, but we were able to use them as comparisons. And everything looks different on paper, and I would tell anybody when you're designing your house to actually use something that's right there that you know about. And
That's a great idea.
it's a great way to figure it out.
Yeah.
But this is going to be our a walk-in closet. It's a little bit of a downgrade from what we have now. We had a 5-bedroom house that had little bedrooms, and we took one of the bedrooms and built it to a she shed type closet with all custom cabinets.
Wow, nice.
So this is our this is going to be our master, where we'll have our double sinks over here, have a whirlpool tub here, a shower here, and of course our room back here. And you know, it's like you always think, if I ever did it again, I would do something different. When we did the old one, we put a regular wall up here, and then it was too small to put a door. So we figured, we'll put a pocket door in this one.
So that way your toilet has its own room.
It does.
Yeah,
it does.
that's
we kind
great.
of talked about how some people don't like it when you don't have doors on your toilet.
Yeah.
So this was framed by Troyer, this pocket door?
No, that's just a stock unit.
Oh, this is a unit you buy, okay.
Yeah.
That's why I was looking at it. I'm like, this don't look framed, it looks...
Yeah.
I got
That's
you.
a really nifty, probably pretty easy to install. Did you install this?
Not yet. It's just
Okay,
hanging there.
just okay, yeah.
I've got to cut the ends of it off.
Yeah,
before I
but it
can
looks
fit
really,
in.
really easy to install.
Yeah,
So that's
and
great.
then, you know, we have a few things to do on the shower on the other side. There was a little bit of flaw in the design because it had the wall going up and covering part of the window. But on the design of this house, we started. You guys were our third company.
Yeah.
And we started with, they were all three in Tennessee, and one of them was, you know, they couldn't even remember who I was every time I called them. So it's like, we're done with you pretty quick. And the next one, you know, I liked them, but they didn't really have a crew out here, and they did the design work, and it was okay. But when we started really fine-tuning things is when I came out and I talked to Jason.
Yeah.
And he was just learning how to do it. But Jason has that gift to understand what works and what doesn't. And a lot of people don't.
Tell us who Jason is now.
So Jason's he's our lead in doing this whole barndominium design. He runs the CAD work, works with the customers, you know, really figures out what's your dream? What do you want? Hey, how can we make this building work? So he's created a bunch of different starting models. You kind of brought your own starting model that he worked with you to design, but we also have a lot on our website, have a bunch of starting models. So, and then he'll customize them to your needs and desires, and hey, what do you guys want? So he's good at what he does. He's actually he married my aunt, so family again, a lot of family, but he's great.
Jason was just finishing his sales career with you guys, that's how I was in touch with him originally.
Yeah.
And then when I came out and I seen your place, which is immaculate, you know,
Thank you.
I was very pleased with the way things looked. I mean, I'd been to the other ones, and believe me, there wasn't. When somebody looks for details in everything they do, and you can walk in the back, and it looks just as good in the back as it does the front, and that's the way this place is. We walked out where the lumber is,
Yeah.
Everything totally organized, and there wasn't a bunch of people working. I think there was one guy working, but he knew where everything was, he knew what he had, and he was getting the job done. And you don't need anybody, you just need the right people.
Yeah.
You don't need a lot of people.
Yeah.
You know? And
Yeah.
right now, I would say that Troyer has the right people.
Yeah, thank you.
You know?
I think a big part of it is it's for customers like, hey, if we respect our place and take care of our stuff, a customer feels like, hey, they're going to come on my property
That's exactly
and
right.
respect
Yes.
what I'm building, and
Yes.
they're going to bring the same detail that they bring to work to their own workplace every day. They're going to bring it to my project. So that's really important for us, is building customer confidence. And hey, this is how we operate, especially when you're moving in from another state and you're like, who do I trust?
We've been, this is our first barndominium that we've got to film outside of my own, and we went to the Troyer headquarters, and there's a video on the playlist there on the Appalachian channel. If you go into a playlist, you'll find one that says Barndow Life, and it's in there, and this one will be in there. And we're hoping to come back when you get it finished. Your wife said y'all gonna have a big cookout, so I invited
Yes.
myself.
Good.
We'll come back and film the finished project. And so what do you think about How'd working with Troyer? What would you recommend them?
In a heartbeat.
In a heartbeat?
Yes. I mean, it was like when the boys left, it was like part of your family left.
Oh, really?
It was. I mean.
So how long did it take them? How long was this project? How many weeks did it take them?
2 months or so.
2 months?
Yeah, I think it was like 7 weeks or something.
Yeah.
There wasn't 1 week where they were able to work 7 days.
Yeah, rain.
You know, we tried to get it to where they got as much done as they could here, and then start on the barn, and then go back and do the interior. But it was, the rain kept it from happening that way too. I mean, they probably could have cut off 2 or 3 days, but
yeah, we had a lot of rain. This has been an exceptional year for rain. If you wanted rain, we had it. But yeah, it's been a beautiful day to come out. And good to see
thanks
you
for
again,
coming.
Tim, and,
yeah, really appreciate you, John.
Maybe we'll get to do another project that you're working on. Because you're coming back to my place as soon as I can get you back there. Yeah, I'm gonna get them to. Hopefully, since they're doing interior framing, I don't know anybody better that I would want to do it except Troyer Crew. So there'll be more videos coming up, guys. Make sure to hit the subscribe button, and that way you'll know when the new videos come out. You never know what you're going to find on the Appalachian channel. We talked about that when I started earlier. I film a little bit of everything. My main thing's been general stores, and then I do any type of Appalachian history and culture. And you don't know, but the barn doors has been a big thing. A lot of people's really moving this way. And we're talking about this. This is kind of a transition from barn doors into traditional housing. You've got the metal roof and the metal siding, and the one thing I call them farmhouse style now, since you're not putting the 6x6 post. And two, for me, for a barndominium, I feel that it needs to have more storage space than it does living space, and be 6x6 posts. So there's no standard guide, I don't think, anywhere about it. So over here is a true more barndominium, then over here your house is more what we call farmhouse. So beautiful work is done, and we're getting ready to sign off and head to another video, guys. So
sounds good.
Thanks for watching. See y'all next time. Bye-bye.